So Hooch is like alcohol the prisoners make themselves. In Arizona, it's so hot, you can use the heat to brew it all in a bag. Is that how you use it with the bag and the burping in the bag?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
And so, all right, what's everything you got to put in that bag to make Hooch?
Okay, you start off, you've got your trash bags.
Yeah.
And you've got your laundry bag.
Yeah.
So basically, and you've got your, your box you put underneath your bed.
Yeah.
So you put the net bag in the box, and then you put the laundry bag, then you put the garbage bag into your net bag, and then you get your oranges, you peel them, throw them in. You get hot water, you pour it in. You get the dried yeast, you put that in, and you get a lot of sugar, and you put it in. You leave it for a couple of days. It'll just stay there for a couple of days under your bed, and then you'll start to see it rising, because with the heat, the yeast is acting and it eats the sugar, and it starts to form alcohol. But as that's doing that, it stinks. And bearing in mind, there's guards every 3 hours to do a walk, so you've got to make sure that you don't put yourself on top, because you could have just burped. You've got a time when you burp the bag. Eventually it's that big, you've got to open that bag to let the pressure out.
What happens if you don't?
Well, the bag will burst.
Mm.
So you've got to open the bag to let the pressure out. And when you do that, it just stinks the whole dorm out. So you've got to go around then, and you've got like deodorant and stuff like that, and you've got like a hairspray, what the blacks get, and you get that Jerry Curl, it was called. You get that and you spray it around, so it just takes the smell off. But basically your time, as soon as the guard's come and done his walk, you burp it, because you know he's not going to do another walk for 3 hours. And it only takes 4 days to actually brew, which is unbelievable, but it's 100 odd degrees, so it's really hot in there and it brews up really fast. So once you've done that, once it's stopped burping, you turn around and take it into the shower. You take the whole box into the shower, and you've got a few lads with you with like just pop bottles, soda bottles. And what you do is, you pour all, you just empty, you burst the bin bag, and then the netting, your clothes netting, will take all the pulp and all that stuff, and you wring it out like that, and what comes out is the alcohol. And you bottle it. You only fill the bottle 3/4 up. The reason why you do that, because it's still actually cooking. You've got to leave it in the bottle for another day and a half, and you've got to burp the bottles too. And once they won't burp no more, you've got Hooch, which is very good. But if you make a big batch and you get a few of the lads, all the white lads, drunk, that's when I got into trouble. It was about the 3rd time I had actually made it. I got cocky. And I made a batch of like 50, and like you sell them for £2.50, which it sounds like nothing, but £2.50 adds up. You know what I mean?
So in the US currency, what were you selling them for?
Well, I'd sell them for a tuna pack and 5 soups.
I see. Okay. And when Wellman said it's 100 degrees in Arizona, the temperature scale over there gets up to 100, 130. In the summer, which on the UK scale is almost 50 degrees in the summer. It's off the scale. This is the Sonoran Desert.
It's hot, and you don't need much of the Hooch to get you drunk.
So you got all the youngsters drunk, and then what happened?
Got all the youngsters drunk, which in essence wasn't the best thing to do, and I'd only realised that, well, you learn, don't you, basically. And one of them said something to another race, and before you know it, they're having a straightener, and then the Asian guy actually got the better of the white guy, and I normally never ever jump into a fight ever, but another one of the white guy's mates jumped in, and then basically the dome went off.
So there's almost a riot.
So there's almost a riot. I'm saying, white boys, boot up, meaning, come on, we're going to war. And then the cops come in, and they pull me out and put me in the hole, because the tower is right there, so they could actually see what's going on. And it didn't help, because I still had the thing under me bed.
Oh, the Hooch.
Yeah, and they had 15 bottles still left in the thing. So I'm busted.
Oh.
So I have to go the hole. I'm in the hole for 30 days. I come out the hole. I'm lucky enough to go back to my own dorm, because normally when you come out the hole, they generally just move you somewhere else. There was Steiner Red and Steiner Blue. Steiner Blue was for the more secure people, like trustees and people working in the kitchens and stuff like that. And Steiner Red was like more of the people who couldn't be arsed working, basically. And so I get back to my bed, and then lad comes over, Adam, my friend, and he says, "Oh, the head wants to see you." So, oh shit. I knew I was in trouble, like. So I go to the exercise yard, and you can't congregate. There's about 3 or 4 whites there. He calls me over, and he said, "Look," he said, "I put faith in you." And he said, like, "You're fucking up." I said, "Well, no," I said, "I didn't start the fight." He said, "Yeah, but you might as well have caused it. You got all the youngsters drunk." He said, "I want you to look after him, not give him a train wreck." I said, "Well, I didn't tell him to fucking drink it, did I? I didn't force them." And he said, "Look, listen," he said, "I'm stopping you for doing Hooch for a month." I said, "Oh, that's fucking out of order." He said, "Seems out of order." He said, "I can have you filled in right now." I checked myself and I said, "Sorry." Because I was going to say, "Well, if you can have me filled in, why don't you fucking do it, you prick?" But I checked myself. So I went back and I was really, really pissed off. But, you know, I fucked up, so I couldn't make Hooch for a month.
And when you got busted with the Hooch, what was your actual charge that they give you? Because they give you a disciplinary ticket.
Oh, the
don't they?
disciplinary ticket was introducing alcohol.
Introducing alcohol.
Yeah. Introducing alcohol to something. It was like I think they have different names and letters for it. It was like a C-17.
Yeah.
Introducing alcohol, i.e. prison contraband.
Yeah.
So I got 30 days for it. It could have been worse. I could have lost more time, to be fair. Like, they could have street charged it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was like, I mean, there's so many stories I can actually tell. Some are a bit blue, some aren't. So like, I'll just keep it where it's.
Yeah. So this was Wildman's introduction to prison story. Knocks the Aryan Brotherhood leader out. Starts making alcohol. Almost causes a riot. We'll be back with another story on my channel here soon from Wildman. We're going to start a Wildman playlist. And maybe we can get Wildman on the True Geordie. That's what we're hoping as well. Thanks for watching this video.
If you have any questions or suggestions of what you want to hear or whatever, I'm more than happy to tell you. But some of it you probably won't like. But there you go, that's prison for you.
Please subscribe to this channel on YouTube. Before in the box at the bottom of the info box, I'll put a link over to Wildman's Facebook and stuff. So if you want to send him a question, you can contact him directly as well.
I've started with the timmest story I can get. It only gets better, folks.